Introduction to Xiao Yan. Before the soul-piercing Douqi continent, Xiao Yan had come to the Immortal Demon Realm. At that time, his name was Gu Ruochen, and he did all sorts of evil deeds. People called for people to fight and caused trouble everywhere, either pretending to be forced or wandering on the brink of death. People gave him the nickname Yuan Hui Giant Raptor. Kill the Holy Sun. Chapter 1. Feisheng meets the Holy Lord, an old Forster. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Xiao Yan led colorful scales and Sun Air to shuttle through the turbulent flow of time and space. The strength of the Dou Emperor seemed to have no resistance against these turbulent flows of time and space. Fortunately, Xiao Yan firmly grasped Sun Air's colorful willow waist, which prevented the two of them from being caught up in the reverse flow of time and space. Be careful, everyone. This is a turbulent space. Be careful, I feel like this starry sky has an irresistible force. Xiao Yan suddenly felt an irresistible pressure in front of him, and under this pressure, he had no chance of winning. Haha, I didn't expect that there would be fire element here. God really helps me. A tall, muscular devil with a dragon head and a human shape, with a dragon tail behind him, looks like a mixture of Chinese and foreign dragons. He has muscles all over his body and a burly figure. What kind of creature is this? Is it a dragon? Zhu Kuan looked at the flame demon lord in front of him and felt strange. No matter how this lord looked at it, it was a dragon, and there was a difference in how he looked at it. What kind of novel creature is this? Holy Lord! How did you appear here? As a traveler, Xiao Yan immediately recognized the identity of the Holy Lord. When he was a child, he often read Jackie Chan's adventures, which featured the most intelligent and skilled villain. The Holy Lord, a fire magic demon. Surprisingly, it appeared here. Strange, the sun came out from the west. Sun Air and Kai Li looked at Xiao Yan and surprisingly knew this creature. Well, damn worm, it's unbelievable that you know me. You know, I'm a noble dragon, a demon wizard. If you're willing to submit to me, I can also make you my slave, said the Holy Master arrogantly. He seized the opportunity before and regained the talisman of the 12 zodiac signs. His strength has long been restored to its peak. According to combat effectiveness, crushing an average duty is definitely not a problem. You're looking for death, you dare to call yourself a dragon. Zhu Kuan suddenly became angry. What kind of creature is this? It's not bullshit, but you dare to call yourself a dragon. From a distance, it looks like a steel pile, and up close, it looks like a pile of shit. He immediately became a biological entity with tens of thousands of feet, emitting the pressure of Emperor Dou. The Holy Lord became interested and said, "You are also a dragon, interesting. Dragon talismans, explosions." His eyes turned blood red and he unleashed tremendous power. Uncle Zhu, be careful a little bit. Xiao Yan also had some understanding of the Holy Lord, of course, he saw it on TV. At the beginning, the two of them were inseparable, but soon Zhu Kuan couldn't bear to part ways. It was probably because he had eaten too much sea cucumber and was covered in thorns. When pinched, it was actually very soft. The green and yellow skin of the Lord, and his shorts emitting yellow gas, all the mosquitoes around him took a deep breath and died from poisoning. Look at me, the Ox Charm. The Ox Charm is the source of power, which can make the user infinite in power. Suddenly, the Holy Lord brought up Zhu Kuan. Huh, you broken dragon, but you are really too weak. The Holy Lord fell heavily, smashing Zhu Kuan to pieces. The strength of this dragon is also too terrifying, it could have defeated Uncle Zhu Kuan with one move. Sun Air couldn't believe it. What kind of creature is this Holy Lord and why is he so powerful? At this moment, Xiao Yan said, "Holy Lord, you old wall lamp, have the ability to come and have a fight with me." Xiao Yan released the fire of the Tuoshegu ancient emperor, and the colorful flames attracted the Holy Lord. Fire, fire. The Holy Lord is a fire magic wizard with a natural affinity for flames. At this moment, Xiao Yan took out his large ruler and fiercely slammed it against the Holy Lord, using the abyssal fire forever ruler. However, the Holy Lord followed Xiao Yan's attack, and Xiao Yan was immediately surprised. How could it be like this? As a human on earth, Xiao Yan knew very well the combat power of the Holy Lord. No matter how powerful the Holy Lord was during his peak period, it would never have been like this. Xiao Yan gritted his teeth and said, "You bastard, how could you become so powerful?" Upon hearing this, the Holy Lord burst into laughter and said, "To be honest, I wasn't very powerful before. I just used some tricks to deceive 7 other demons and gain their power. Then, I devoured an endless energy and strengthened the power of the 12 talismans. My power naturally increased tenfold. You even betrayed your brothers, shameless guy." Gu Ruochen often reads Jackie Chan's adventures, so he is naturally very clear about some things. Sun Er, Gu Yuan has a disdainful expression on his face towards this Holy Lord. He is shameless and even said it out loud. "I am a noble dragon, a demon wizard. As we all know, I am not trustworthy. What kind of brother, those brainless people who only have strength but no brain deserve to be deceived. I think with their brains, they think with their shells. They were repaired by me because they were stupid. They were deceived by me to lose their power, not to seize, but to deceive. It did not cause any personal danger. They were completely blinded by profit, and I deceived them because I had wisdom. Wise people always deceive brainless people, and I have never heard of fools deceiving wise people. The Holy Lord killed the heart, deceiving the 7 demons. Afterwards, I still don't forget to make up for it." Xiao Yan suddenly became speechless. He seemed to have heard this before somewhere, but couldn't remember it. However, the Holy Lord in front of me does have a few brushes, 12 talismans, 8 major demonic energies, and combat power, which may bring the Holy Lord to a brand new level. "Surrender, you're not my opponent," the Holy Lord laughed heartily and summoned his weapon, a broom made of special crystals. If heaven wants to make him king, he must first give him a broom to drive him crazy. "Gu Ruochen, since you can't fight, then let me come." Suddenly a voice appeared beside Xiao Yan. "Brother Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan, behind you." Xiao Yan turned around and saw only a 15 or 6-year-old boy wearing white clothes. His whole body was emitting a clear glow, and his entire strength could directly crush the entire space. "Who are you?" "You are the person I met in my dream." Xiao Yan was shocked at this moment. He had once met this young man in his dream, and I don't know why he knew his name. Gu Ruochen. This name gives me a familiar feeling, and my previous name on Earth was called Gu Ruochen. These 2 names are also too similar, and I seem to be able to see his memories. He seems to be a creature from Earth as well. The young man didn't speak much either. He just took out a lightsaber and swung it at the Holy Lord, causing him to be torn apart. "Leave the rest to me," the young man drew a halo and directly imprisoned the Holy Lord. "I will reseal him, and his power will become 12 talismans again. You can try it. You can absorb the other 8 magic energies." With a punch, the Holy Lord exploded, and the 12 talismans appeared in front of everyone. At this moment, the Holy Lord transformed into a statue, and the young man was also merciless. With one hand, he crushed him directly. The Holy Lord doesn't even have a chance to spare his life, but he has been beaten so much that his soul no longer exists. The young man in white also disappeared in an instant, and 12 talismans were flying everywhere. Xiao Yan, who was absorbing 8 evil energies, quickly grabbed the dragon talisman. As for the other talismans, they were intercepted by Sun Er and Gu Yuan. After finishing these, Xiao Yan took a few quick steps forward and looked around. "Who the hell are you?" "It doesn't matter who I am, what's important is that our ancestors, Yang Zun, and I have the same purpose. Now, you should hurry up and practice. By the way, There is one more thing, your sword of destruction has been entrusted to you, please take good care of it, and never act recklessly again. Oh, by the way, there is one more thing, you must take good care of the Yin-Yang Divine Martial Seal. The young man in white shook his sleeves and a black long sword came to Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan grabbed the long sword flickering with electricity, tears in his eyes, and both Sun Er and Kai Li were stunned. You should know that Xiao Yan uses a ruler, how could he use a sword? Xiao Yan looked at the long sword and said, Sword of Destruction, I didn't expect you to come back to me. Xiao Yan's memories pondered, and a memory of the past opened up in his mind. Although I have traveled to the Duki continent with my soul, I have had a painful experience of traveling before. Xiao Yan's thoughts suddenly recalled. Things are different, people are different, everything is fine. That woman also died, and I will no longer pursue her further. I will never have any relationship with her again, and the painful memories cannot be erased. A mark appeared on his forehead, and although it had no power fluctuations, Xiao Yan immediately hid it. I also know what this mark is. It is said that my ancestor Yang Zun gave it to me by his own son, hoping to cultivate a first class divine way. Although Xiao Yan doesn't know the specific meaning behind Yang Zun's actions, it is definitely quite remarkable. Sun Er, let's go. This time it's over too. Xiao Yan wiped his tears and didn't say anything. Brother Xiao Yan, what are you really like? Sun Er looked at Xiao Yan with an incredulous expression. It's nothing, let's go. This matter is my privacy, and I don't want anyone to disturb me. Xiao Yan led them towards the deep space tunnel and arrived at a forest. What Xiao Yan and his team didn't know was that a peerless battle was happening ahead of them, and the power unleashed by both sides in this battle was not inferior to that of Do Di. No intention, I advise you to surrender. With just your 3 axes, you still want to fight against the center of our immortal world. It's really beyond your measure. A black-clothed humanitarian led dozens of ancient emperor strongmen to come here this time, just to catch the unintentional. No intention, you'd better speak up about the hiding place of Emperor Tuoshegu, and you can also avoid the pain of soul pumping. 4 words for you, said unintentionally. What 4 words? Daydreaming. Chapter 2. Encountering Emperor Tuoshegu again. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sun Er, Kai Li, Xiao Yan and his team also came to this battlefield. As soon as I arrived, I saw nearly 100 people fighting non-stop, and everyone was furious. Strange fire eternal ruler. The man in black shouted loudly, and in an instant, the nearly 100,000 Zhang ancient ruler was directly aimed at the group of ancient emperor powerhouses on the opposite side. Ah! Screaming incessantly. Everyone, retreat quickly. The group of miscellaneous soldiers in the center of the fairy world will soon continue to send reinforcements. Everyone, retreat quickly, the black-clad man shouted. Brother Xiao Yan, how could that person know your ultimate move just now? Sun Er looked at everything that had just happened and felt incomprehensible. Is it possible that the man in black is the Tuoshegu emperor? Gu Yuan guessed, and Zhu Kun across from him also confirmed Gu Yuan's statement at this time. At present, it seems that this answer is the most suitable one. Who are you? At this moment, the person in black, who was leading the way, also realized the breath of Sun Er, Kai Li, Xiao Yan, and others. We are. Why do you have the aura of a master on your body? The man in black immediately emitted the aura of an ancient immortal. Can I explain it to you? Xiao Yan bit his teeth, protecting Sun Er and Kai's scales. Living in the world without any strength, no matter what kind of person you encounter, it is always inferior. Tell me what's going on with your breath. If you're not honest, then you'll just disappear. The person in black instantly increased the pressure. Bang! With one sound, one step down. What? The man in black looked at Xiao Yan with disbelief. How could a mere ancient emperor have such a powerful aura? It seems that this person is not simple. Stop it. A weathered voice echoed through this space. Tuoshegu Emperor. Master, you're really here. The man in black looked at the old man in front of him incredulously. Xiao Yan was also surprised that the ancient emperor did not die. This is really big news. No intention. I have already seen the battle just now. The reason why that little guy from the Xiao tribe has my aura on him is because he has received my inheritance, said Emperor Tuoshegu. Senior Ancient Emperor. I don't know where you are now. Xiao Yan keenly captured at the light and shadow in front of him was just a residual soul of the Tuoshegu Ancient Emperor. Emperor Tuoshegu immediately summoned out his divine realm, isolating Suner and Gu Yuan. He. Little one, don't worry about this. You must take good care of yourself now. You must make good use of the inheritance of the ancient emperor that I left behind in Duki continent. I know your true identity, and the reason you appeared in Duki continent is entirely due to Yang Zun's arrangement. At that time, Emperor Tuoshegu used his heavenly machine to calculate the future corner of Gu Ruochen, which was to throw a spiritual body attached to a strange fire and coincidentally encounter the burning technique, thus opening the game. After becoming the Dou Emperor, he will stay and pass on the legacy, hoping that Xiao Yan can be promoted to the Dou Emperor. Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan was immediately overjoyed and said, Senior Gu Di, it's unbelievable that you actually knew my ancestors. Well, that's not a big problem at all. By the way, there's one more thing I want to tell you. Do you know the true identity of the Xiao clan? Emperor Tuoshegu kept it a mystery, but Xiao Yan really didn't know what the true identity of the Xiao clan was. I don't know about this, but judging from the clan pattern of the Xiao clan, it should be the disappeared clan. As the sealed memory awakened, Xiao Yan, no, it should be Gu Ruochen who vaguely guessed the true identity of the Xiao clan. Perhaps it's the legendary blood clan, they are said to be taboo gods. Xiao Yan also guessed something. Not bad, the Xiao clan is actually a branch of the blood clan. The blood clan was not originally called the blood clan, but its real name was the Holy Light Ancient Clan. Unexpectedly, he interrupted at this moment. Although he was the youngest, he knew a lot. Senior, you know the Xiao clan, right? What exactly happened to the Holy Light Ancient Clan? Xiao Yan was puzzled. Wuxin said, you have heard of the heavenly ancestor. I have heard that he led the 70.2 heavens to do a very important thing, said Xiao Yan. Emperor Tuoshegu stroked his beard and said, let me tell you one more thing. The anti-heavenly ancestor is the head of the Holy Light Ancient Clan and the previous heavenly ancestor. He led the 72 heavenly emperors to conquer the unknown world, but none of them returned. What, the heavenly ancestor is the leader of the Holy Light Ancient Clan, which I have never heard of before. Xiao Yan was also shocked. I don't know if it's normal, after all, the people in the center of the immortal world are deliberately erasing the news of the anti-heavenly lord and the 72 heavenly emperors, said Tuoshegu. The matter of the anti-heavenly lord is definitely not as simple as imagined. Xiao Yan was also pondering something. There was definitely a reason why the entire Holy Light Ancient Clan suddenly changed its title, perhaps there was some undisclosed secret. I also want to reveal something to you. Back then, the anti-heavenly ancient lord led the 72 heavenly emperors to fight against an unknown existence. Only 3 people returned, and the rest died in battle. 2 million years later, suddenly the Holy Light Ancient Clan was destroyed, and people said that the anti-heavenly ancient lord violated the will of heaven and caused a disaster of blood. He unintentionally interrupted again, but he knew more. Don't tell him too much if you don't want to. When the time comes, you will naturally know. This little guy has inherited my inheritance and is also considered half of my disciple. Could you please help him when he is in difficulty? After all, his identity as a Xiao clan in this universe is very dangerous, and the affairs of the Xiao clan are not so simple. Unexpectedly, he just hugged his hand and said, Master, don't worry. I will definitely take care of my junior brother. You two need to be a little more careful. The extermination of the Holy Light Ancient clan is likely due to the intervention of the Immortal Realm people. When we went to fight against the heaven-stealing questioner, we didn't expect that there would be a current supreme deity. Senior. What is the person who stole the sky and asked? Xiao Yan heard this title for the first time. At this point, unintentional means speaking. The thief of heaven is the enemy of the entire universe. They are very terrifying. They will endure forever, like parasites, sucking on the blood and sweat of the common people. The creatures of heaven and earth are like grains, and when a certain period of time comes, they will harvest them at regular intervals to maintain their blood and soul. What? Xiao Yan listened in a daze. Sun Er, Gu Yuan, Zhu Kuan and others have heard of things that are shrouded in mist, such as the Holy Clan, Xiao Clan, Holy Light Ancient Clan, Yang Zun, and the Thief of Heaven Questioner. What are these things? Xiao Yan doesn't seem to be a native of Duqi continent. What happened when he crossed to Duqi continent? Wu Xin seemed to have noticed Xiao Yan's confusion and immediately pulled his master over. Little junior brother, if you have anything, just tell your master. He has a deep relationship with your holy clan. Emperor Tuoshegu shook his head and said, "You kid, you're still so clever. If you don't stand up for yourself, you just gave me everything." At this moment, Emperor Tuoshegu propped up his own divine realm. In an instant, Sun Er, Kai Li, Gu Yuan, Zhu Kuan, and Wu Xian all disappeared. Where is this? It's so magical. Xiao Yan looked around incredulously. So amazing. This is my divine realm. As long as you work hard to cultivate, you will definitely reach my realm. At this moment, Emperor Tuoshegu seemed to have thought of something and immediately said, "Do you know why your holy clan's bloodline has declined?" Xiao Yan also guessed something. It's not related to the person who stole the sky. Not bad. At that time, your ancestor Yang Zun mysteriously disappeared to investigate the thief who stole the sky. Since Yang Zun's absence, the Holy Clan has gradually weakened, and I'm afraid Yang Zun has suffered misfortune. At this moment, Emperor Tuoshegu expressed his own thoughts. The matter of the Holy Light Ancient Clan is definitely related to the Thief of Heaven Questioner. Although I have fallen into a deep sleep, I can have some knowledge from outside. As far as I know, the reason why the Holy Light Ancient Clan was exterminated in the past may be due to the Thief of Heaven Questioner's retaliation against the anti-heaven Ancient Zun. As a descendant of the Holy Light Ancient Clan, you must be very careful about these things. Do you understand? That ancient Emperor Senior, do you know the situation of our Holy Clan now? Xiao Yan asked about the situation of the Holy Clan at Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. After returning from that place, I fell into a deep sleep. I'm not quite sure about the current situation in the fairy, demon, and demon world, said Emperor Tuoshegu. Xiao Yan, now I want to tell you another thing. This thing is related to you. Emperor Tuoshegu's eyes became serious. Xiao Yan was momentarily stunned. What's up with him? Don't underestimate yourself, little one. I also sensed the previous battle. Did you meet a young man in white before? The words of Emperor Tuoshegu immediately woke up Xiao Yan. Do you know that young man, senior? I don't know you, Emperor Tuoshegu said directly. However, with the early strength of my divine emperor, it is still impossible to predict the mystery of that person. This sentence from Tuoshegu Emperor deeply penetrated Xiao Yan's heart. God Emperor. The emperor among the gods is probably not comparable to ordinary gods, Xiao Yan's mouth stuttered. What surprised Xiao Yan the most was not the divine emperor. According to the meaning of Emperor Tuoshegu, there was also a realm above the divine emperor. Could it be the divine supreme? His ancestor Yang Zun was also the divine supreme, which means that that person and his ancestor were at the same level of strength. Sure enough, the end point is a new beginning. Little one, take a look on your forehead. Tuoshegu Emperor pointed to Xiao Yan's forehead. If I guess correctly, the mark on your forehead is related to that young man in white. Xiao Yan immediately transformed his fighting spirit into a mirror to reflect on himself, and suddenly a silver-white mark appeared on Xiao Yan's forehead. This is... Xiao Yan was shocked. Chapter 3. Qi Practitioners and Practitioners. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't be surprised, little one. Your phenomenon is very normal throughout the entire universe, said Emperor Tuoshegu. The universe is full of wonders, and if I guess correctly, your situation should be the one possessed by the legendary reincarnators. Senior Gu Di, what exactly is the reincarnation you just mentioned? Xiao Yan was confused. The reincarnation. What is the relationship between oneself and the reincarnation? Emperor Tuoshegu no longer spends time, but directly focuses on the key point. The so-called reincarnators are some great powers from distant times who, when they die, seal some power in reincarnation in order to allow the next life to grow quickly. When their reincarnation awakens the memories of their previous lives, the power they leave behind will be used by the reincarnation body. Senior, are you saying that the person from before is my past life? Xiao Yan was immediately dumbfounded upon hearing this. Emperor Tuoshegu nodded and confirmed the statement. From the current perspective, it should be true. However, your situation is very special compared to others. Your past life is very mysterious. I'm afraid the strength of your past life has exceeded the realm of the Divine Emperor. Emperor Tuoshegu trembled slightly. It is important to know what kind of existence transcends the Divine Emperor. Even the masters in the center of the Immortal Realm and the Demon Realm remain in a state of divine supremacy, hesitating for half a step. In his understanding, only the masters in the Heavenly Realm have reached that level in today's world. When the 72 Heavenly Emperors fell, the entire heavens and all realms were plunged into a state of immense panic. The Demon Realm launched a massive attack on the Immortal and Demon Realms, causing many deities to fall. Xiao Yan was slightly surprised in his heart, wondering what kind of powerful realm he was in his past life. Even the Divine Emperor cannot guess. Xiao Yan remembers that he had undergone 100 reincarnations under the ancient Bodhi tree before, and it seems that there is no such person in his own understanding. Xiao Yan, you need to be a little more careful. Do you know about the recent situation in the fairy, demon, and demon world? Although Tuoshegu Emperor fell into a deep sleep, he also learned about some of the situation in the fairy, demon, and demon world through his spiritual body. Xiao Yan arrived in the Duqi continent before the arrival of the flames of destruction, so he naturally didn't know much about the current situation in the fairy demon and demon realm. Senior, I really don't know much about this. Emperor Tuoshegu's eyes turned and he said, in the 1 million years since the fall of the 72 heavenly emperors, there was a catastrophic event that almost wiped out the Holy Light clan. I once witnessed countless members of the Holy Light clan sacrificing their blood and souls to the Milky Way like crazy. So it's like this, is it a curse? Xiao Yan speculated that he also knew an extremely evil curse method. Combined with what Emperor Tuoshegu said, it was probably that kind of curse method. At that time, his family also suffered from this curse, and Xiao Yan almost passed away. Emperor Tuoshegu nodded and said, this curse should be a good thing done by the legendary thief of heaven questioner. The destruction of the Holy Light ancient clan must be a means used by the thief of heaven questioner to restore cultivation and retaliate against the Holy Light ancient Zun. However, what I want to tell you is not that, but that when this disaster was about to annihilate the immortal realm, a peerless strong person suddenly appeared and repelled that disaster. Who is he? Is he a supreme deity? His name is Emperor Zun, and he is the current heavenly Zun. His cultivation is said to be the divine supreme. In the past, he repelled the disaster, reorganized the immortal realm, and established the heavenly realm. The downfall of the Holy Light ancient clan was likely planned by him. You are now a member of that clan, and you must be careful in the future. Tuoshegu ancient emperor reminded Xiao Yan that the heavenly realm master has unparalleled strength. Previously, he had only made a move in that disaster and was able to repel it. His strength is undoubtedly the divine supreme. Forget it, what's more important is that you have a reincarnation mark on your body, so you must be careful. A reincarnator is most afraid of being beheaded when he is weak. Tuoshegu emperor reminded Xiao Yan carefully. Whether it is the Holy Light ancient clan, descendants of Yang Zun, or the reincarnation of the supreme god, these identities can bring harm to Xiao Yan. Little one, you have also grown up now and should know some things. Do you know about heavenly fire, heavenly thunder, and heavenly water? Emperor Tuoshegu asked Xiao Yan. Tianhua, Tianlei. Tianshui, this. Senior ancient emperor, what exactly are these? I've never heard of them before, Xiao Yan shook his head. I don't know, Junior. Knowing means knowing, not knowing means not knowing. Duki continent refers to some unusual flames as abnormal fires. In the entire universe, people also refer to some unusual flames, thunder, and water spirits as sky fire, sky thunder, and sky water. According to Emperor Tuoshegu, the power of sky fire is much higher than that of abnormal fires. Even if you want to compare with the weakest type of sky fire, even if you are currently holding Emperor Yan, it will be difficult. Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan immediately became interested. The heavenly fire is so terrifying. If he could tame a type of heavenly fire, wouldn't his strength be improved? You kid, you're thinking of heavenly fire again, Emperor Tuoshegu scolded with a smile. It is normal for young people to have ambition. It is precisely because of desire that young people keep moving forward, and human society is constantly advancing. Senior, do you know how many types of sky fires there are in the entire universe? Xiao Yan also openly expressed his thoughts, as everyone has ambition. I roughly remember that the entire universe has 9 types of heavenly fires, 10 types of heavenly thunder, and 8 heavenly waters. What's so little? Xiao Yan was extremely shocked. Do you think this is cabbage? I tell you that heavenly fire is the supreme fire, and all fire must obey them. As for heavenly thunder and heavenly water, they are also extremely terrifying. To control heavenly fire, the lowest strength must reach the ancient divine realm, because only by cultivating a divine body can one dare to devour celestial wonders like heavenly fire and heavenly thunder. Heavenly thunder, heavenly fire, and heavenly water are things transformed from the source of the heavenly Tao, extremely powerful. At this moment, Emperor Tuoshegu patted Xiao Yan's shoulder and said, "Don't give up, little one. The universe is wonderful. As long as you keep moving forward, one day you will reach the ultimate goal. The realm I am in. Alright, I won't say much nonsense. I have already explained what needs to be explained. Now, my residual soul doesn't have much power. Be careful in the future, little one." The light and shadow of Emperor Tuoshegu's body are getting darker and darker. After Xiao Yan promised, the figure of Tuoshegu Emperor disappeared. Outside the divine realm, Jukuan looked ahead with nothing and immediately stomped his foot, saying, Xiao Yan must have encountered something unexpected inside. Unexpectedly, he quickly threw out a sentence. What are you panicking about? If I guess correctly, Master must have used the divine domain to isolate us and is currently explaining some things to junior brother. Xinyu, what is that? Sun Er couldn't figure it out. A man in black said, the so-called divine realm is the realm of the gods, and the divine realm used by Lord Tuoshegu is something that only the strong divine emperor can master. God Emperor. The existence above the Do Emperor. Kai Li was slightly surprised. A man in black shook his spirits and explained carefully, saying, it's like this, the strong God Emperor is the emperor among the gods. According to our cultivation system, the so-called Do Emperor is just the front line of the ancient emperor. Above the ancient emperor is the ancient immortal, above the ancient immortal is the ancient god, above the ancient god are the god ancestors, the god king, the god emperor, and finally the god emperor. After hearing their detailed explanation of these things, Gu Ruochen sighed and said, God Emperor. When will I reach that level? After hearing this, Gu Yuan made a joke on Gu Ruochen. Brother Gu Ruochen, you probably have no hope of revenge now. The Tuoshegu ancient emperor has already reached the realm of Emperor Do. The divine emperor is a powerful person, and this realm has never been heard of before. You should know that Gu Ruochen has been trapped in the ancient emperor's cave for so many years, and he doesn't hate the fact that Tuoshegu was fake. Previously, when Gu Ruochen broke through the Do emperor, he was shouting that he had encountered the Tuoshegu emperor and wanted to teach him a good lesson. Unexpectedly, the Tuoshegu emperor suddenly ran to the divine emperor. How can this be compared? Just when they were surprised, Xiao Yan appeared in front of them at zhaoshuyuan.com. Brother Xiao Yan. You don't have anything to do you? Xiao Yan, did the elder of the ancient emperor explain anything to you? Kai Lian asked. Xiao Yan explained some things, but regarding the mark on his forehead, Xiao Yan did not explain it. After all, that matter is too significant. If someone else finds out about the existence of the divine emperor, they will still chase Xiao Yan around the world. Even if Xiao Yan is stunned, he will not be so foolish as to easily expose the marks on his forehead. Junior brother, we have already been exposed and must leave as soon as possible. If we wait for the people from the immortal world to come, we will not be able to leave alone. Without intention, we have entered an unknown world with our group. Where is this? Xiao Yan clenched his fist and gently spat out such a sentence. Wuxin also said to his newly met junior apprentice, you don't know anything. This is the heavenly wilderness ancient palace. It is something left behind by a powerful Qi practitioner in the ancient times. What is the name, Qi practitioner? Xiao Yan was very curious, as if this title had existed in his past life memories. I can explain it to you this way. The mainstream cultivation system in the universe today is called the cultivator. As for the cultivator who cultivates Qi, he is the name of the cultivator who cultivates another method of cultivation before the cultivator. Wuxin carefully explained the development of the universe, and the entire universe to the 5 people along the way. The 5 of them were amazed to hear that there were so many realms above Emperor Do, which really surprised them. Alright. We're inside the Tianhuang Ancient Hall. Chapter 4. Saving People. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother Xiao Yan, your strength has improved again. I'm afraid your strength has reached the level of the 8-star Ancient Emperor. Sun Er smiled happily. This girl. Xiao Yan shrugged helplessly. Xiao Yan. You're here, I happen to have something to talk to you about. A cold and gorgeous woman wearing a red qipao walked up to Xiao Yan with a pair of proud chests. Colorful scales. Xiao Yan scratched his head, what's up with you coming here? Xiao Yan is also aware of Kai Li's temper. She has always been a woman who refuses to indulge in love and affection. In all these years of marriage, Cai Li has never asked for anything. Do you know what you want me to do? Xiao Yan just touched his nose for a moment. Kai Lian said, just now I felt the scent of the 9-colored swallowing python. I want to go and take a look alone. No, it's too dangerous now. The strength of those people in the immortal world far exceeds our imagination, and I can't let my wife be outside alone. Xiao Yan immediately refused Kai Li's request. You. Xiao Yan. Kai Li bit his teeth and said, I need you to manage my affairs. No matter what you say, I won't let you go, said Xiao Yan. Sister Cai Li, this matter is really too dangerous. Brother Xiao Yan did it for your own good. Sun Er advised carefully. I'm going. The asterisk in front of the colorful scales was already trembling non-stop. Just now, My man had already provoked her. As soon as Xiao Yan saw that his mother-in-law had been provoked, he could only sigh and say, "That colorful scale, I'll accompany you. It's good to have some care on the way, don't you think so?" At this moment, Sun Er also said, "That's right. Why don't we go alone, the three of us, so we can have some care?" "All right then." Kai Li also nodded slightly. The three of them just confessed to Wu Xian and then left the Tianhuang Ancient Hall. On the way, Li was worried. "Sister Li, don't worry either. We're all about to arrive." Sun Er saw Li's concern and comforted her. "It's almost here. Everyone, get ready. These guys in the demon world are really damn. If our ancestors were here, it wouldn't be their turn to be wild." A woman shining with colorful light bit her jade teeth and used her spiritual energy to launch a powerful attack on the group of ancient emperors in front of her. The power of the ancient immortals is directly crushing those ancient emperors. Although the ancient emperor's strong can tear apart space, compared to the attributes of the ancient immortal strong that can destroy space, it is much worse. "Kaiyun, don't be reckless." At this moment, a woman in a white robe shouted loudly. In an instant, endless spiritual energy enveloped her whole body, and a force that did not belong to the ancient emperor launched a fierce attack directly on the girl opposite her. The vast and boundless force swept over like waves, and the girl named Kaiyun was blown away by that person's blow. Damn it! What a surprise attack! Kaiyun wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. From that person's aura, it appears that he is also a strong ancient immortal. However, it should only be a mere one-star ancient immortal, and such strength is not enough in front of one's own two-star ancient immortal strength. But just now, I had already expended an unknown amount of spiritual energy to fight against those ancient emperors, and in addition, I was attacked by someone. Now Caiyan's strength is far inferior to that girl, and there are also some ancient emperors watching her from the side. If there were no foreign aid, Kaiyun wouldn't be able to leave today. Kaiyun obediently handed over the source crystal of the 10-colored swallowing python. The girl waved her long sword and said to Kaiyun, "Humph. I can't imagine, even if my aunt is dead, I will definitely not hand over Yuan Jing." Kaiyun immediately burned her own blood. "I can't leave today, but they can't make it any better either." For Kaiyun, killing one is enough, killing two people is enough to make a profit. Find death. Form and formation. Soon, dozens of ancient emperors were moving under the command of an ancient immortal, gathering spiritual energy from 4 directions. East, west, north, south, and north onto the ancient immortal's body. In an instant, the girl's aura skyrocketed, reaching the level of a 2-star ancient immortal. Take the move. Wind and lightning strike. The girl just let out a loud shout. In an instant, within a range of millions of kilometers, everything is changing. The power of heaven and earth was mobilized and gathered on the ancient sword by the ancient immortal powerhouses. Struggling. Kaiyun also bit her jade teeth slightly, directly launching the 9-colored Shanyun cloud-piercing arrow. A light arrow with a length of tens of thousands of zhang converged in front of the girl in red. Bang! Bang! After a few metallic impact sounds, the colorful cloud from zhaoshuyuan.com was cut by the rolling sword energy. Caiyan's center of gravity is unstable, and it just fell off. Damn it! Kaiyun spat out a mouthful of blood and looked at the girl in front of her with great unwillingness. At this moment, the inner alchemy in her body was constantly working. She had made up her mind that even if she died today, she would have to send them to the west. Strange fire eternal ruler. The young man in black held an ancient ruler in his hand and directly hit the people in front of him. With his 8-star ancient emperor's strength and terrifying strange fire, he is enough to kill a 9-star ancient emperor and compete with a 1-star ancient immortal. Bang! A tens of thousands of zhang ancient ruler approached the edge of the formation, instantly eliminating nearly 10 ancient emperors with strength in 7 or 8 stars. Who are you? Can't you find death? The girl in red was just angry. Suddenly, a young man came out and ruined his plan. It's not easy to put it in anyone's eyes. You are all serving me. Upon hearing the orders of the ancient immortal strongmen, the remaining dozens of ancient emperors launched a fierce attack against Xiao Yan. Kaiyun looked at the battle in front of her, and Sun Er and Sai Li ran to Tsai Yin's side. Kai Li pays respects to the senior, said Kai Li. Why do you have the scent of my 9-colored swallowing python? Kaiyun was very surprised in her heart. I grew up in the Duki continent, said Kai Li at this time. Duki continent, Kaiyun felt very surprised. You should know that the 9-colored sky python clan has never been scattered in any other plane space, but the aura of the 9-colored sky python on the colorful scales is real, it can't be fake. Chapter 5. Reproduction. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Lotus of Buddha's Fury. Xiao Yan immediately gathered the flames of the Tuoshegu ancient emperor in front of him, and in an instant, the sky was full of changes. A fiery lotus, measuring tens of thousands of zhang in size, was thrown directly at the ancient emperors in front of them. Suddenly, he took away half of the ancient emperor's strong men. You should know that Xiao Yan used to only seal the sole heavenly emperor with his self-igniting duty body. When Emperor Tuoshegu disappeared before, he gave himself a chance, and Xiao Yan transformed spiritual energy into a chi practitioner in the heavenly wilderness ancient palace. When Xiao Yan did not cross the spiritual energy continent, he had reached the realm of quasi-divine cultivation. His own strength had reached the level of the 8-star ancient emperor, and coupled with the terrifying strange fire, his strength was already sufficient to fight against some of the top powers of the 9-star ancient emperor. The remaining people on the opposite side are all at the level of the 7-star to 8-star ancient emperor, and the usual 9-star ancient emperor's attacks are still more than enough. But Xiao Yan's strength is far superior to that of the 9-star ancient emperor, and his cultivation in that realm is enough to kill them. Bang! After the metallic impact sound. Young generation, you are looking for death. Dare to harm the good things in our demon world. At this moment, the woman was holding the ancient sword in her hand and chopping towards Xiao Yan. In an instant, the rolling sword energy directly annihilated Xiao Yan's ocean of strange flames. Xiao Yan was immediately pushed out by the waves of air. If it weren't for Xiao Yan's timely response, he might have fallen to the ground due to unstable center of gravity. There is a huge gap between the two, and even with the strength of feeding, Xiao Yan cannot overcome it. Brother Xiao Yan. Sun Er quickly arrived at Xiao Yan's side after helping Kaiyun up. What's up with you? Sun Er immediately protected Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan. Kai Li's jade teeth bit and immediately ran to his man. Looking at Xiao Yan, who was covered in blood, a sense of guilt surged into Kai Li's heart. After swallowing a mouthful of sweet blood, Xiao Yan said, "You take the senior and leave quickly. The rest is up to me." After finishing, Xiao Yan calmed down his whole body's qi and blood. The 3 mysterious changes of heavenly fire. Xiao Yan's breath was about to break through the realm of the ancient emperor, but he did not fully enter the level of ancient immortals. Gu Xian is a watershed for cultivating spiritual energy, and cultivators under Gu Xian only use spiritual energy to attack. However, ancient immortals and gods are different. They no longer rely on strength, but begin to understand the rules between heaven and earth, and the whole person is integrated with heaven and earth. Even if you use the secret technique, your strength is only half a step of an ancient immortal at best. Without understanding the rules between heaven and earth, you can never enter the stage of an ancient immortal. The girl in red poured cold water on Xiao Yan directly. There are countless ancient emperors in this world who have made great efforts to break through the realm of ancient immortals, but in the end, how many ancient emperors can break through that step? Destroy the fire lotus. Xiao Yan didn't hesitate this time, he just came up with a fire lotus. The fire lotus, which covers hundreds of thousands of kilometers, directly smashed at the woman, and the power of the strange fire shook the sky and the earth. Humph, carving insect tricks, it's up to me. The girl picked up a long sword and fiercely swung it over, and the sword wave rolled the fire lotus exhibited by Xiao Yan into it. Xiao Yan didn't have time to dodge, so he just took a sword. Seeing only Xiao Yan's figure, he flew backwards and fell heavily to the ground. Brother Xiao Yan, I'm here to help you. Sun Er hurriedly flew over at this moment. For her, nothing is more important than being with her lover. Go to hell. I'm just trying to fulfill you. The girl shouted fiercely, and a light of several 100,000 zhang flashed brightly. Xiao Yan. Sun Er, Kai Li was also crazy. The smoke was about to dissipate, but white light suddenly shrouded. What? How could this be possible? The girl in red was surprised at the moment, but seeing three figures was reflected in the smoke. Brother Xiao Yan. Sun Er. Xiao Yan immediately hugged the woman who was holding her and whispered, "You shouldn't have come here. If you have any ups and downs, how can I survive?" At this moment, Sun Er tightly hugged Xiao Yan, but she also noticed the young man in white in front of Xiao Yan. Brother Xiao Yan. Look ahead. Sun Er was surprised. This was already the second time that the young man in white had appeared to save them. After the smoke dissipated, the girl said directly, "Who are you? Dare to ruin the good things in our demon world? You're not going to die. That young man doesn't have any spiritual fluctuations, even his soul, as if it doesn't exist anymore. But that girl doesn't think so. This young man can easily attack himself. His strength is definitely not that simple." Brother Xiao Yan, why did he appear again? Said Sun Er, looking at Xiao Yan with bright and lively eyes. Sun Er was speculating about the relationship between Xiao Yan and the young man in white. The girl in red ignored everything and launched a fierce attack once again. No matter who you are, daring to confront our demon world is a dead end. The young man in white at zhaoshuyuan.com still didn't say anything. Just as his sword energy was about to approach his body, he only saw him lightly pointing. Space is frozen, and time has no concept at all. What? How? Before the girl in red could react, the young man in white simply waved lightly. Bang! The girl's body exploded directly. Senior, we must not let her soul run away. Xiao Yan immediately reminded the young man in white. Upon seeing the soul of the girl in red, it immediately turned into a white light and disappeared into the void. Let her go. A fairy without a fairy body is like a big wave flipping over. The young man in white finally spoke at this moment. Xiao Yan immediately discussed, "Senior, what you're doing is nothing but releasing a tiger back to the mountains." Brother Xiao Yan. How dare you talk about my decision like this? The young man in white was really angry. Brother Xiao Yan, just stop talking. Sun Er immediately approached the young man in white and said, "Senior, Brother Xiao Yan is quick-witted and quick-witted. I hope you can understand Brother Xiao Yan." Sun Er was puzzled in her heart that her brother Xiao Yan was not a reckless person. Why did he become like this today? You should know that this man's strength is also known to himself. With just a wave of his palm, he almost killed an ancient immortal. He must be a strong ancient god. If I guess correctly, you are my past life, and you shouldn't mind my request. Xiao Yan said. Although you are my reincarnation, it doesn't mean you can command me. Chapter 6. Douyin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother Xiao Yan. What are you talking about? Sun Er's time was also shrouded in mist. At this moment, colorful scales also flew to the scene. Watching Xiao Yan confront a young man in white, there was a bad feeling in his heart. At this moment, Xiao Yan said, "Since you have chosen me, then you should know the truth of rooting out the grass for me." The young man in white smiled slightly at the corner of his mouth and said, "You are the first person who dares to threaten me." I only saw the young man in white lightly grabbing towards the space, and soon his soul was held in his hand. Pa! Before the girl could plead, she only saw the boy and lightly pinched him. Everything is the ending. After a gust of wind, the boy also disappeared almost completely. "Brother Xiao Yan, are you okay?" Sun Er immediately approached the man who greeted her. Kai Lian said, "Xiao Yan, what were you doing just now? Are you crazy?" Kai Lian just felt that Xiao Yan's courage was too great. "I didn't expect to confront such a strong person, most people dare not think. There's nothing more, everything is over. Let's go." Xiao Yan shrugged helplessly. The three of them flew to Caiyan's side. Before they could even speak, Caiyan looked at Xiao Yan in surprise and said, "You are a reincarnator." "Reincarnation? What would that be?" said Sun Er. "My identity as a reincarnator, please don't speak up, senior, otherwise I will be in trouble." Xiao Yan's face became a big, Chuan character. "May I ask what exactly is a reincarnator, senior?" Sun Er heard about things like past life and reincarnation before. The so-called reincarnators refer to some ancient great powers who brought some of their physical strength into reincarnation when they died in ancient times. Kaiyun looked at Xiao Yan with a sense of surprise. "I have also heard of some secrets from ancient times about the realm of my ancient immortals. I have heard of the reincarnation before, but I never expected that the reincarnation would have such great power. Look at this young man Xiao Yan, he hasn't even reached the realm of an ancient immortal, but the slightest trace of his soul in the white-clothed boy can torture an ancient immortal like this. I'm afraid this young man named Xiao Yan's past life was a reincarnation of a deity." Kaiyun looked at Cai and then at Xiao Yan, saying, "What is your relationship with Cai?" "Colorful scales are my wife." "I don't know why the senior asked this," said Xiao Yan. "What, a man from a human race can actually be with us 9-colored swallowing python?" Kaiyun was a little surprised at this moment. Xiao Yan coughed for a moment and said, "Senior, Cai and I truly love each other. We even have children. There's a child left." Kaiyun didn't expect that the kid in front of her would actually kidnap the women of the Sky Python clan. It's a bit confusing. However, as soon as he thought about the identity of Xiao Yan's reincarnation, Kaiyun seemed to understand. Perhaps this was the opportunity for their 9-colored swallowing python clan to rise. You should know that Xiao Yan's lowest achievements are all from the ancient gods. Such strength is really good for the 9-colored swallowing python clan, who have never given birth to the ancient gods. "I don't know what to call this senior," Xiao Yan said politely. After all, the woman across from her is of the same lineage as Kylie, and coupled with her strong strength, it's not an exaggeration to call her senior. Kaiyun. "Senior Kaiyun, do you know how the 9-colored swallowing python clan in the upper realm is now?" Cai asked anxiously. "The swallowing sky python clan is finished." Kaiyun sighed at this moment. "We have a dispute between the swallowing sky python clan and the people of the Tianfeng ancient clan. Originally, our swallowing sky python clan's strength was enough to fight against the Tianfeng ancient clan, but unexpectedly, the Tianfeng ancient clan and the people of the demon realm came together." The demon realm. Kai Lian, Sun Er, and Xiao Yan all woke up with a sudden shock upon hearing this. They didn't expect to meet the person in the center of the demon world so soon. It seems that war is very close to oneself. Why don't we do it this way? Senior Kaiyun, come with us, and we'll have some care. Sun Er is truly Xiao Yan's thoughtful little cotton jacket. Kai Lian also followed suit and said, "Yes. Senior, now the 9-colored swallowing python clan has been destroyed. Why don't you just follow us?" "Alright then. Anyway, following you guys can also provide some care." A group of 4 people walked towards the depths of space, and no one knew where they were heading now. A mysterious place in the world of immortals, demons, with its entire body pitch black and the whole world like chaos. I can't believe that my Holy Light Ancient Clan has such a young generation. It's really my Holy Light Ancient Clan's luck. That voice spread throughout the space, running through the north and south. That aura seems to have reached the peak of the divine realm. I vaguely touched the divine emperor, and there were very few people in the entire universe who possessed that realm. At this moment, an even more terrifying aura appeared. This sun's background is indeed very strange. The old man did not expect that your younger generation's background is really terrifying. Even I cannot speculate on his previous life's realm when searching for the book garden www.zhaozhuiyuan.com. What? Even your cultivation level, Emperor, cannot be explored. Well, it's really good. I'm just puzzled. I can't know which divine supreme being he was in history in his past life. The other person was also surprised, as his strength was only half a step into the existence of the divine supreme. Surprisingly, even he doesn't know the past life of a younger generation. What kind of existence does this younger generation have in their past life? Emperor, this younger generation seems to have quite a background. Aren't you talking nonsense? In peacetime, which successful person can only succeed if they are not involved in family ties? Senior brother, we're back. Xiao Yan and his 4 companions all paid their respects to Wu Xian. Junior brother, who is this one? I looked at the person in front of me with confusion. He was born in the fairy world since childhood and doesn't know any 9-colored swallowing python tribe. This person is called Kaiyun, a member of the 9-colored swallowing python clan, and is also of the same clan as Tsaili, Xiao Yan introduced. You are from the Flame Palace. Although Wu Xian does not know Kaiyun or the 9-colored swallowing python clan, it does not mean that Kaiyun does not know Wu Xian's identity. The world is like this, the weak can only look up to the strong, while those in high positions overlook the existence of the weak. How do you know? At this moment, the power of the whole body is running. You should know that at this time, the heart will not let anyone go. Don't worry yet. The power of the Flame Palace is so powerful that no one knows in the entire immortal demon world. I remember meeting a person from your Flame Palace before. What? Where is he? Chapter 7. Surprisingly, there are thunder in this place. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Senior brother. Don't be too anxious, Senior Kaiyun will definitely tell you, Xiao Yan comforted him as he watched anxiously. After spending so many days together, Xiao Yan showed great respect to this senior brother. This senior brother may seem cold and ruthless on weekdays, but in reality, he cares extremely about every brother. At this moment, Kaiyun was finally able to reveal the cause and reason behind the incident, despite unintentional pleading. Suddenly, unintentionally, I became extremely angry, only to see unintentionally slamming onto the ground. That group of miscellaneous people dare to do this. Damn it, Xianming Hall, I will destroy you all. The aura of the ancient immortal suddenly bloomed, and flames surged up from millions of miles around. Everyone, come with me. Unexpectedly, they immediately gathered their hands and led a team of 5 people, including Xiao Yan, Sun Er, Kai Li, and dozens of others, to march forward in a grand manner. Not seeking revenge is not a gentleman. A earth-shattering battle is erupting in a space, and countless ancient emperors have demonstrated such fighting skills as the body of the ancient emperor. However, after a strong beam of light shone, those ancient emperors did not even have the qualification to resist and simply turned into ashes. Even the ancient emperor dared to challenge the ancient immortals, he really didn't know the superiority of heaven and earth. The woman in white moved her red lips, and these fools didn't even have an ancient immortal, they just dared to come and capture her. It's really seeking death. The combat power of ancient immortals is not comparable to that of the ancient emperor. In addition to attracting spiritual energy between heaven and earth, ancient immortal powerhouses can also manipulate rules to increase combat power. These are all things that the ancient emperor could not control. Dozens of ancient emperors were killed by the woman in white. The girl in white also immediately fled into the void and flew away. Although the battle just now did not take place, it is not advisable to stay here for a long time. The unintentional group was carefully searching for the trace of the girl in white on the road, and it was evident that her identity was very precious. "Report to senior brother, there seem to be traces of combat ahead," said a detective to Wu Xian. "Everyone accelerate forward." The aura of the ancient immortal unintentionally erupted immediately, and now he seemed to be possessed by a killing god. To see someone kill, to see Buddha slaughter. They were unaware that there was a 6-star ancient immortal leading dozens of ancient emperors quietly walking towards the scene of the incident in front of them. It's only a matter of time before the two meet, but Xiao Yan is in big trouble. "Brother Xiao Yan, what's wrong with you?" Sun Er asked kindly. Xiao Yan shook his head and said to Sun Er, "There's nothing wrong, it's just that I feel like there are memories in my mind. The memories are very unfamiliar, but also very familiar." Xiao Yan was also puzzled at this time, as those memories seemed to be memories of his past life. "It's very blurry, probably only one woman appeared in my memory. As for the rest, none of them." Kai Lian and Sun Er looked at Xiao Yan in confusion, both looking at each other. Xiao Yan murmured alone, "Who the hell is that woman? Why does she appear in my mind? What kind of person was I in my past life?" Xiao Yan gradually became curious about his past life. Could it be that his past life had a deep relationship with the woman in his mind? But why do memories of one's past life come to mind during this time period? The team was also very tired after a period of hard work. At present, we have found a very hidden location to camp and set up camp. At night, the lights are brightly lit, and everyone has fallen asleep. Strange, why did this mark flash during this time period? This is not a good omen. If it doesn't work, we need to find a way. Xiao Yan used his fighting spirit to transform into a light mirror and shone it on his forehead. No wonder it was so itchy before. It turned out that his mark had been exposed again. Hee. Unexpectedly, Emperor Yan had things he couldn't do on his own. At this moment, a jet black flame emerged from Xiao Yan's back, transforming into a human figure. "How can you come out of the void swallowing inflammation?" Xiao Yan looked at the figure in front of him with a little disbelief. Void-swallowing Yan was spitting at Xiao Yan and saying, "Yan Emperor, you promised me before. When the time comes, you will help me become the ancient emperor." Xiao Yan was a little surprised and said, "Is there any? When did I say that?" Xiao Yan has no impression of the phrase, "emptiness swallows inflammation." However, now it is the time to hire people, and it is also possible for Xiao Yan to meet the small requirement of swallowing inflammation in the void. Xiao Yan said, "Okay, after we finish this matter, I will help you become the ancient emperor. You just need to wait for a moment." Upon hearing this, Wu Wu swallowed Yan and became unhappy. He turned to Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com and pursed his lips, saying, "Emperor Yan, you're too stingy, aren't you?" "What stinginess? I don't have so much energy to help you now," Xiao Yan replied helplessly. "Void swallows inflammation, you just need to understand me about this matter." "Okay then. The nihilistic swallowing of inflammation is the only way to accept this fact. By the way, Emperor Yan, do you know where this is? The void swallows flame and feels the power of this world. It seems that one's own strength is about to break through, and here perhaps there is a breath of breaking through the ancient emperor." Xiao Yan said, "I'm not sure exactly where it is here, I just know that this world is called the Immortal Demon Realm." Immortal Demon Realm. Void swallowing inflammation is when the mouth is big. Xiao Yan shrugged helplessly and said, "The Immortal Demon Realm is the three most powerful worlds between heaven and earth. This way of explaining to you should be very clear to you. Next, Xiao Yan explained some things to Su Wutuan Yan, which broadened his horizons. The bright moon fades, and dark clouds cover the top. The thunderous roar instantly woke up the sleeping crowd. Xiao Yan looked at the dark clouds in the sky, feeling in his heart that something big was about to happen. Senior brother, what's going on here? Xiao Yan looked at the spiritual energy in the sky being absorbed into a space and asked if it was intentional. I patiently explained, if I guess correctly, this should be the birth of Thunderbolt. It seems that the power of this thunder is the lowest among all thunder. Isn't it? There's actually thunder in here, that's really great. Xiao Yan's eyes lit up as soon as he heard it. Senior brother, let me handle this matter. Chapter 8. Swallowing Thunder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Little junior brother, then senior brother will immediately help you subdue this heavenly thunder, unintentionally, also knowing. The power of that thunder has little effect on an ancient immortal, but it significantly enhances the combat effectiveness of an ancient emperor. Senior brother, let me give it a try. Xiao Yan stepped into this thunderstorm, devouring the power of thunder, surrounded by a contradictory force of destruction and vitality. He couldn't help but sigh and said, I didn't expect the sky thunder here to be so magnificent and boundless. It's really much more powerful than the 9 gold xianlei in the Duqi continent. Xiao Yan felt the power of the sky thunder. Thunder is a divine being in the universe, and it is said that half of the thunder between heaven and earth originates from thunder. Although I practice the fire path and have strong attacking power, practicing the thunder path is extremely domineering. If you cultivate both thunder and fire, your combat power will reach an incredibly terrifying level. The power of thunder in the sky was like 1,000 silver snakes, dancing wildly around Xiao Yan, with roaring sounds mixed with the power of destroying the sky and earth. His eyes were as deep as the sea, staring at the source of the thunder, and a cold smile curved from the corner of his mouth. I happen to have obtained a Tai Shang Qi cultivation technique from senior brother Wuxin, which can incorporate the power of thunder into my body. Xiao Yan then extended his hands, palms facing upwards, and an invisible suction was released from his palms. The power of thunder seemed to be summoned and gathered towards him one after another. These raging energies swirled around Xiao Yan, as if they had turned into angry silver dragons. All come over to me. Xiao Yan's fingers traced through the void, outlining complex runes. These runes seemed to have life, automatically absorbing the power of thunder around them and slowly lighting up. As the runes lit up, Xiao Yan's breath gradually rose. His body became as hard as steel, and the surface of his skin shimmered with a silver luster. That is armor formed by the power of thunder, with a strong defense that is enough to amaze any strong person. In the end, the power of thunder suddenly exploded, and Xiao Yan almost went west. I didn't expect thunder to be so terrifying. At this moment, Xiao Yan was not discouraged. He simply stepped on the void and the strange fire ignited directly. The thunderclouds above the sky seemed to sense Xiao Yan's thoughts and immediately absorbed the spiritual energy from the area of hundreds of thousands of kilometers into his body. A thunderbolt struck directly at Xiao Yan, and a silver-white line of tens of thousands of zhang crossed the sky. There was no words to describe the power and speed contained in that thunderbolt. De Tian Zhao Hua Palm. Xiao Yan simply waved his flawless palm, causing a shock in the entire sky. The two powerful forces, without any skill, are tightly intertwined. The entire sky seemed to be torn apart, silver-white, orange-red, and painted black. The power of exotic fire and heavenly thunder complement each other in the sky, and the degree of confrontation between the two ultimate powers has exceeded the imagination of others. What a powerful heavenly thunder! Xiao Yan murmured alone, if he could swallow this heavenly thunder, perhaps his strength would reach the realm of the 9-star Ancient Emperor. The 9-star Ancient Emperor is the limit of the Ancient Emperor, a stepping stone under the Ancient Immortals. Xiao Yan's figure disappeared into the thunderstorm, replaced by a silver illusion. His speed surpassed the wind, as if blending with thunder. Every move is accompanied by the sound of thunderous explosions, and every attack is as powerful as a heavenly punishment. He clenched his fists and threw them fiercely at the enemy in the distance. The power of thunder transformed into two huge silver fists, charging towards the enemy with the power to tear everything apart. The enemy was hit hard by this force before they could react, and their bodies instantly turned into ashes. Xiao Yan's movements became faster and more ruthless. He seemed to have become the master of this thunderstorm, controlling the power of the thunder. Every move carries a roar of thunder, and every move makes the enemy tremble with fear. In the end, when all the enemies were defeated, Xiao Yan stood at the center of the thunderstorm. He howled up to the sky, his voice filled with the ecstasy of victory. The thunderous force around him seemed to feel his joy and gathered towards him one after another. Xiao Yan's figure gradually disappeared into the thunderstorm, leaving only ashes and a sense of destruction on the ground. He arrived at the center and crazily devoured the power of the thunder with flames. Originally, devouring the thunder was supposed to be a glimmer of vitality for ancient immortals and gods, but Xiao Yan was gambling that his past life would appear. You're just not doing well so soon, let me help you, said the young man in white. The earth explosion and thunder seemed to be angry, and they immediately threw a big move. Soon, a silver-white flame hung directly on the sky, and that flame changed the color of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy between heaven and earth showed the subtle changes of heaven and earth, and that flame penetrated the entire north and south between heaven and earth. Xiao Yan was surprised to see that this thunderbolt was so complex. The strange flames inside Xiao Yan's body were trembling, just like the feeling of a courtier meeting an emperor. Even the pure lotus demon fire and the void-swallowing flame are slightly inferior, and the Tuoshegu ancient emperor fire can barely compete with them. I didn't expect the earth explosion and sky thunder to have such an effect. It seems like I really found a treasure this time. Xiao Yan's eyes lit up. Since it is both a flame and a thunderbolt, isn't it possible for the earth explosion and sky thunder to merge with the strange fire within one's own body? When the time comes, my flame will become even stronger. When I merge with the heavenly fire again, isn't it a guarantee? Xiao Yan didn't say much either. He simply summoned the body of the ancient emperor, and his tens of thousands of meters tall body smashed directly towards that flame. Although that flame is incredibly powerful, the user's strength is still too low to compete with Xiao Yan's strange fire. In less than a quarter of an hour, Xiao Yan had devoured the thunderbolt. What a powerful force! It truly deserves to be a heavenly thunder. I never expected its power to be so great. Xiao Yan couldn't help but sigh. He immediately found a place to sit down and start refining this heavenly thunder. After a while, Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly widened. What a powerful force! I didn't expect this thunder to have such a powerful force. Xiao Yan's breath kept soaring at this moment. In the middle and later stages of the 8-star Ancient Emperor, we finally reached the peak of the 8-star Ancient Emperor. The speed of improvement is still fast, this feeling is really amazing. It's been too long since I had that feeling, Xiao Yan couldn't help but say. Since stepping into the Ancient Emperor, Xiao Yan's speed of improvement has been very slow. Unconsciously, Xiao Yan's breath finally broke through. The aura of the 9-star Ancient Emperor directly covered an area of nearly 1,000,000 miles, with Xiao Yan as the center exploding an indescribable aura, and the spiritual energy directly transformed into a long rainbow. What a powerful force, ha ha ha. It's so exhilarating. Xiao Yan let out a long howl, and the sound first rose to the sky, like an arrow plucking from its string. At this moment, a memory that did not belong to Xiao Yan came to mind. The 8 wildernesses and 6 harmonies, the vast sea of stars. Just seeing countless stars is like being almost killed, and some extremely dark creatures are sweeping through the entire space. Each breath of those creatures was enough to make Xiao Yan tremble. Every time the army of countless creatures arrived, the living creatures would fly and the starry sky would be shattered. There is absolutely no hope in this starry sky, and the strength of local cultivators is too weak to even resist properly. However, at this moment, a man in white suddenly broke into this space. Suddenly, those creatures stopped in their tracks. Their eyes were filled with a sense of fear towards the man in white, and both sides were on the line. Finally, the young man in white swung a punch directly at the creatures below, and the thunderous power on top of the punch reached a terrifying level. Those creatures from Zhaozuiyuan.com were still showing off before, but now they are in a state of chaos and running wildly. In no time, those creatures were completely eradicated by the man in white. The following Xiao Yan looked with relish, and the appreciation was engraved on his face. What a powerful fist technique. Xiao Yan took advantage of the man in white punching and memorized every move he made in his mind. Next, Xiao Yan was using that set of martial arts techniques to transform emptiness into reality, and reality is emptiness. The afterimage filled the entire mountain, and the silver thunder, cleverly controlled by Xiao Yan, converged onto his fist. Wow! The power of this punch is probably enough to damage an early 9-star ancient emperor. Xiao Yan secretly speculated. Now that his strength has reached the early stage of the 9-star ancient emperor, coupled with his two powerful attributes of flame and thunder, Xiao Yan may be able to deal with some 1-star ancient immortals. Why hasn't brother Xiao Yan come out yet? It's been such a long time, Sun Er muttered. Colorful Scales, on the other hand, closed their eyes to nourish their senses and advised Sunner, maybe. I'm back. Xiao Yan, have you subdued that thunder? How's it going, junior brother? Brother Xiao Yan, why are you so late? You're so worried about me. Everyone was gathered around Xiao Yan, who also chuckled and said, there's nothing wrong. I've already swallowed that thunder. Now my strength has reached the level of the 9-star ancient emperor. Really? Sun Er looked at her man's strength increasing again and felt very happy in her heart. Alright, it's not too late. Everyone, hurry up and find someone. Chapter 9. Subduing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Senior brother, that one seems to have already left. Xiao Yan watched as the ruins of the ancient emperor emitted a foul odor. Unconsciously, she picked up a handful of yellow soil and rolled her eyes, saying, it seems that she has left. Without intention, he closed his eyes and silently said, I think so. Since that's the case, everyone should immediately retreat. Staying here will be troublesome. I haven't had the intention to give orders yet, I just saw that the black clouds were blocking the sky and the dark clouds were blocking the sun ahead. A powerful aura appeared directly in this sky, and that power was definitely beyond the level of the ancient emperor. What, there is actually a 6-star ancient immortal, this. Caiyun's eyes were filled with a sense of fear. The 6-star ancient immortal has enough strength to establish a foothold in this human world. Xiao Yan also furrowed his brow. The 6-star ancient immortal, I don't know which force such a strong person is. The demon realm. Immortal realm. Or other forces, these are all things that Xiao Yan wants to know. Damn it, I didn't expect those miscellaneous members of the ghost world to be chased and ready for battle. Unexpectedly, a 4-star ancient immortal aura burst out immediately, and dozens of ancient emperors around him were scattered around unexpectedly. As long as they are not willing, they can form a formation at any time, gathering all the fighting energy onto the unintentional body. Unexpectedly, I didn't expect us to meet again, the person just chuckled. After a gust of fragrant wind blew, a beautiful figure appeared directly in front of Xiao Yan and the others. This woman had a face in her 30s, and her waist twisted and twisted, which was really tempting for men to salivate. Ghostly and mysterious. I didn't expect that you guys from the ghost world have also found this place. It's really like a dog's nose is smarter than anyone else. I just let out a cold snort unintentionally. Something with sharp teeth and sharp mouth. When I catch you, I'll have to peel off my skin and cramp. That beautiful woman just let out a cold snort, her curved willow eyebrows rising straight up. Hands on. The ghostly ghost is like escaping directly into the void, and a lingering shadow is directly grabbing towards the unintentional. The unintentional is not easy to bully, only seeing the unintentional directly condenses flames on the fist and collides with the beautiful woman's jade claws. Kaiyun immediately stepped forward to help, and Jiucai's power also fiercely bombarded the beautiful woman. Gue Mingyu first scratched Wu Xian with one claw, then flipped his palm and shook away the aftershocks. In a blink of an eye, he launched a strike at Kaiyun. With just one strike, the colorful clouds were shaken away, and the ice on the woman's body was extremely strong. The wind and snow turned into waterfalls, creating a stunning power that shook an area of millions of kilometers. What a terrifying force! The power of the ancient immortal is indeed terrifying. What should we do now? At this time, some disciples are just afraid. Unexpectedly, he regained his chi and blood, and immediately gathered with Kaiyun. Kaiyun wiped the bloodstain from the corner of her mouth and said, "The 6-star ancient immortal is indeed so powerful. I'm afraid even if we work together, we won't be able to compete." Kaiyun even said to Wuxin, and her eyebrows furrowed slightly after listening. "Senior brother, let's deal with her together." Xiao Yan also flew out. A lacquered black ancient ruler stood in front of him, and Xiao Yan stepped on the void, accelerating his pace. The majestic power of the 9-star ancient emperor was rapidly coiling, and the entire sky was covered in colorful colors. "Junior brother, are you confident?" Without intention, I secretly became worried in my heart. Even though my junior apprentice was very demonic, the difference was really too big. Xiao Yan's fighting power was only a star of an ancient immortal. Such fighting power had no chance of winning against that woman. Haha. It seems that you really have no one left. Today, you should let go and capture. In that case, I can still spare your life. It's really hilarious. That woman just smiled and bent over. Xiao Yan looked at the woman seriously and said to her, "Even if you die, we will definitely not let you suffer." The rolling flames pressed directly towards the beautiful woman, and unintentionally, they immediately gathered the flames into their fists and punched out. Kaiyun also gritted her teeth, and Jiucai's fierce breath followed behind those two flames. Xiao Yan's flames were now shrouded in the sky, dancing and flying wildly. The flames were like drizzle, densely scattered below the beautiful woman. The unintentional flame fist rushed towards the beautiful woman in the midst of a sharp and piercing explosion. The 9-colored power directly combined with Xiao Yan's abnormal fire, forming a vortex, and the center of that vortex was the woman. As soon as the woman saw the fierce attacks from 3 people, she still didn't feel any panic when searching for the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. The strength of the 6-star ancient immortal cannot be filled by quantity. That beautiful woman directly released her aura. Bang! After the metallic impact, the 4 forces intertwined together. The smoke dissipated, and the woman remained intact. Humph. "You scumbags, these attacks simply cannot harm me. Your attack may still be effective against a 5-star ancient immortal, but I am a 6-star ancient immortal. Look at the moves." The beautiful woman twisted her jade arms, and a huge force rushed towards Xiao Yan, unintentionally crushing Kaiyun and the other 3. Put it together. A bright rainbow swirled around Xiaoyan's body, and the 9-colored light continuously shot out. The area spanning millions of kilometers was shining brightly, and Xiao Yan immediately unleashed his thunderous power without reservation, driving the newly harvested earth and sky thunder. Boom boom. Boom boom, the sky was roaring, and several lightning bolts rushed through the sky. In an instant, the sky with a radius of nearly 1,000,000 kilometers was filled with strong winds and dark clouds rolling. "Humph. Beyond measure," said the woman directly. The aura of the six-star ancient immortal swept directly towards the three of them, and Xiao Yan and Wu Xian were already prepared for battle. At this moment, the beautiful woman felt a direct pain in her chest. Good opportunity. Qiankuan bag. Unconsciously, he picked up a pocket and cast a spell directly at the beautiful woman. A strong suction force covered her and quickly spun on top of her, then forming a huge vortex that made people tremble at the sight. Damn it! The beautiful woman didn't finish speaking, her eyes turned black and she fainted. Chapter 10. Obsidian Flame. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everyone, kill me. This group of miscellaneous people will definitely not spare anyone. Everyone, hurry up. Without intention, he immediately greeted his brothers. Quickly, everyone rushed towards the opposite side, and due to the loss of the only ancient immortal among the people in the ghost world, they fled with their heads in the face of two ancient immortal powerhouses leading the siege of the ancient emperor. In no time, those people were completely killed by Xiao Yan and his team. Senior brother, it's not advisable to stay here for a long time. Let's retreat first, Xiao Yan immediately said to Wu Xian. Without hesitation or unwillingness, he said, okay, everyone, head south. I know there's a place there. In the quiet of the night, a young man in a black robe stood on a big tree, gazing at the moon and sighing. During this time, Xiao Yan couldn't help but marvel at what had happened in his heart. How many members of the Holy Clan in the upper realm were still alive, and what secrets were in the center of the Immortal Realm and the Demon Realm? The most important thing is who was in one's past life. These are all things that Xiao Yan needs to understand. For him, there are too many things he needs to do. Xiao Yan, so you're here. At this moment, Kai Li tightly hugged Xiao Yan from behind. Xiao Yan just turned around. Cai Li, how did you come? Why are you here if you don't rest well? Xiao Yan immediately turned around and hugged Cai Li, sucking on her body fragrance. The colorful scales and red lips lifted upwards and said, you are my man. What's inside your heart? I still don't know. Xiao Yan, do you think we will achieve a new career in the world of immortals, demons, and demons? The colorful willow eyebrows furrowed slightly. I will do it. I will definitely do it, Xiao Yan said firmly as he looked at the colorful scales. For the sake of you, Sun Heir, and our descendants, I, Xiao Yan, will continue to shine and climb to the peak between heaven and earth. Kai Lian looked at Xiao Yan's indomitable gaze and also smiled. She had never misread this man. After so many years, he still keeps pushing forward as always. Decades have passed in a flash, and his heart is still young. Colorful scales. It's getting late, let's go back to bed. Xiao Yan smiled cunningly. What do you want to do again? Kai Lian looked at Xiao Yan with an angry expression on his face. Xiao Yan's hand was not honest, and he began to touch everywhere, making Kai Lian blush. What's so scary? It's just an old man and wife. At this moment, Xiao Yan had a wicked smile on his face. That colorful scale is not as good as us. Xiao Yan just smiled foolishly. Kai Lian helplessly followed Xiao Yan to a cave, and no one knew what they were going to do. The next morning, Xiao Yan, along with Sun Heir and Kai Scales, was the first to leave the main army and go to a place to search for the trace of the holy flame. According to the scout's message, there is an orange flame born here, according to the unintentional narration. That firelight is highly likely to be the black flame, and this flame is also very low in the ranking of the flame. The sacred fire is a sub-fire of the heavenly fire, with its power second only to the heavenly fire. If a sacred fire is recaptured, it can not only enhance combat effectiveness, but also be used to search for the heavenly fire with its breath in the future. Similarly, Tianlei also has sub-thunder, called Xinglei. But for Xiao Yan, it is a rare treasure. The high-ranked Holy Fire and Holy Thunder are still beyond Xiao Yan's control with his current strength. Xiao Yan should not be too ambitious now, just start from the simplest and least risky things, improve his own strength, and then look ahead to the future. Brother Xiao Yan, is that flame right here? The energy here is so barren. Sun Er looked incredulously at the orange cloud above the sky. Within that orange cloud, there was a terrifying power. Kai Lian also became worried about Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan, are you sure you want to subdue that sacred flame? Without any hesitation, Xiao Yan said, colorful scales, Sun Er. If you want to achieve a great cause, you have to take risks. The principle of seeking wealth insurance is that Xiao Yan has been proven through step-by-step experience. Kai Lian and Sun Er just looked at each other, and with a slight bite of their jade teeth, it seemed like they were both cheering on each other. Sun Er, colorful scales. When the time comes, you will help me protect the law. This time, I must subdue this holy flame. Xiao Yan walked in holding his two beloved wives. The distant space is now filled with black flames, emitting temperatures that can melt some rocks. I don't know what the reason is, the black flame is converging towards the center. Endless power is brought to an area of tens of thousands of kilometers by those black flames, where the temperature is outrageously high. In no time, a black long line of tens of thousands of zhang shot directly at the three people coming towards them. At a glance, Xiao Yan immediately took out an ancient ruler. Yihuazhengu ruler. Looking for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, the tens of thousands of zhang giant ruler directly chopped towards the black long line. At this moment, Sun Er and Kai Li were helping the men on both sides to subdue this holy flame. At this moment, the strange fire inside Sun Er's body felt a sense of fear, which surprised Sun Er. The feeling of this sacred fire far exceeded that of the strange fire inside her man's body. To subdue the holy flame, the lowest requirement is the strength of the ancient emperor. That long black line was directly shattered by Xiao Yan's 1-foot shock, splitting into several segments and falling into various parts of the space. In the next moment, the blazing edge of the flame turned knife-struck towards Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan had no intention of evading, and Sun Er and Kai Li gritted their teeth, each extending their arms. At this moment, the power of three people has reached an extremely terrifying level, and even a star of ancient immortals may be able to fight for one. Bang! The steel-like combined attack power accurately intercepted the black flame blade, and Sun Er and colorful scales immediately transmitted their spiritual power into Xiao Yan's body. In an instant, Xiao Yan's body was about to show signs of breakthrough. Go ahead. Destruction Fire Lotus. Colorful fire lotus flowers were bombarded by the holy flame under Xiao Yi's control. However, it seemed that the holy flame could devour the destruction fire lotus, which surprised Xiao Yan. In no time, the black long line was once again condensed, and Xiao Yan was caught off guard by a blow. However, Xiao Yan was concerned about the safety of his two beloved wives, so he immediately slapped Sun Er and Kai Li with a backhand, and he himself was thrown upside down. It took a long time for Xiao Yan to stabilize his position. Just now, it was definitely my carelessness, otherwise how could I have been shaken away?